Welcome moviegoers to the next installment in my overview of the looks of the different live-action Ninja Turtles. I have already covered the 1990 Turtles movie and Ninja Turtles Part 2 Secret of the Ooze. And today we're going to be talking about the dream-killing, soul-crushing, franchise destroyer that is Ninja Turtles Part 3. You can weirdly still enjoy this movie, but to laugh at it and make fun of it. And that wasn't really the point of the first movie. Yes, you laughed in the first movie, but you didn't laugh at it. You laughed with it. Why go in this direction in the third installment? What test screening service did they acquire to think that this was what audiences wanted?
All right, thanks for participating in our focus group, kids. Okay.
So the movie takes place after Secret of the Ooze. At least I think it does, because they're still in the train station layer that they found in that movie. So this is in continuity with the previous two. There's the arrival of the actress that played April in Secret of the Ooze and the actor that played Casey Jones in Part 1. But this movie doesn't look, at least from the Turtles designs, like it's in continuity with anything. The Turtles look completely different. This one upsets me the most out of all the Turtles movies. Even though I do despise the direction they're taking the newer Turtles movies. It's a close race. I hate them pretty equally. But this one ended the initial Turtles wave, burst the bubble, crashed the market on the Ninja Turtles. Some would argue it was Ninja Turtles: The Next Mutation, the television series that was on Fox. And we'll cover that on the next segment, don't worry. But this started the downward slide, Ninja Turtles Part 3. And some may argue it was already on a downward slide, but this turned it into a steep downward slide that made you plummet into a pit of spikes, Mortal Kombat style. Like I did with Part 2 and the overview on those designs, I'll go ahead and put up the turtle designs from the 1990s, the first movie, so you can see how bad the look of the turtles had gotten at this point. And I know it's all subjective, it's art, but there's no comparison. The first designs are the best designs. If you like anything else, you're that person that enjoys barbecue corn nuts. Disgusting. This video will be a little bit different though than the previous videos, as all the turtles in this movie seem to have the same design flaws, and none of them really stand out in any specific way. They are all equally bad, so I'll just go through some of the aspects I didn't like and just go through all the turtles concurrently. This is frightening. Forget The Exorcist, Annabelle Creation. This is truly horrific. What happened? Again, like I'm known for, I did some extensive research on what the heck happened and found this. With this film, the All Effects Company provided the animatronics rather than Jim Henson's Creature Shop, which acted as the providers for the previous films. Despite being moderate box office success, it says, it was the lowest rated entry in the series. Yeah, of course it is. Look at them. It also reads, although it made twice its production budget, returns were barely more than half that of the previous film and roughly 1/5 of the first. Thus, this was considered a disappointment. There would not be a live action adaptation until the 2014 reboot. Sheesh, that's like, well, 2017 took away 1,993. 24 years! Okay, let's talk about the designs a little bit. What's up with the liver spots everywhere? I know they had a similar effect on the previous versions of the Turtles, but it was subtle. This looks like they've contracted some kind of skin disease. My goodness. Looks like Splinter gets serious with their training and puts cigars out on them. Let's talk about the quote-unquote noses of all the turtles. They all seem to have the same problem here. I know they don't have a nose. I'm talking about the part, above their mouth and below their eyes. In previous movies, this part was puffed up, rounded off, to make the turtles look like, well, the Ninja Turtles, at least from what we were used to seeing. In this version, they look like birds or like they have beaks, and the angles are very sharp and it just looks flat. No good. The mouths have got to be the worst part. They look awful, almost as if you cut a piece of tubing or a straw and used it as inspiration to design their mouths. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. So the mouths are straight up scary and not good in any way. The eyes are not very convincing anymore and look look lifeless. Something about the turtles in the first movie's eyes that just made them seem so alive. The general color of the turtles in this movie is the brightest out of the original trilogy, which looks too artificial. What happened to the grungy color scheme they used before? This looks like a parody of the old turtles, or at best a cosplay. At least they respected the continuity of the way each turtle has his or own belt style. The shells in the original trilogy always had a lot of detail, and I always dreamed of wearing one for Halloween or something when I was younger. I even thought these were cool when I was a kid, but they're definitely not as detailed as the first two movies, especially on the front. Everything just looks flat. There's no real shape to it. Before, it was kind of shaped like pecs and abs and made the turtles look strong. It was just slightly, but it looked a lot better. This just looks uninspired. What else can I say about this version of the turtles? It's the worst movie in the OG trilogy. They look bad, they sound bad. What a mess. To me, this movie has taken this property down a path I could not follow.
I don't know you anymore. You're breaking my heart. You're going down a path I can't follow.
But recently, it seems like this property is making a pretty good comeback, minus the monstrosities, which we'll get to as well some other time. But it's no doubt that turtle fever is starting to rise again, at least slightly. For the past few years, I've been seeing it pop up at more and more retailers. But I think it can be capitalized on a little more than people think, especially in cinema. It just needs to be done right, not like this, but more like this, but with today's, computer graphics and whatnot. And we don't need a giant transformer battle that'll cost millions of dollars to produce. A good old-fashioned battle up a building against the Foot Clan, raid style, but a PG-13 version, and a final battle with the Shredder at the top with an Ip Man style Shredder is all you really need to satisfy the fan base.
Maître Jean, tout va bien? Ça va.
Okay, so I'll be doing an overview of the look of the turtles in Ninja Turtles: The Next Mutation after this, so keep your eye out for that. After that, I'll touch on the two live-action turtles that recently came out. Oh, and hey, did you guys see that Injustice 2 is gonna have the Ninja Turtles as characters for DLC? This was the fan reaction to that. When I first saw it, especially when Raph walks out from the darkness in his trench coat, I was like, no way, it's the old 1990 movie designs. My dreams have come true. But then we see all the turtles in better light, and it's okay. It's like 75% of that design. Something is a bit off, especially around their faces. More specifically, like around the nose area. Something's a bit off. Just go 100% with those designs. They know we love it. They're just messing with us at this point. Okay, if you like content like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, please hit like on this video as it helps with the visibility of the channel. Alright guys, we'll see you in a couple days with another video. Take care.